Morning everybody from a beautiful Portimao circuit for the opening round of the 2022 TCR Europe campaign. The weather is absolutely glorious here in Portugal, and we are already underway for the opening qualifying session, Q1, for our two races that take place, one today and one tomorrow afternoon. It's great to have you with us. It's great to have spectators back at the circuit as well. It's fabulous to see some of the viewers coming in and taking in the great day of racing that we've got here at Portimao. We're already underway in the qualification session, as previously mentioned, and just to remind you, for anybody that's new to the world of TCR Europe, there are points on offer for this qualification as well. We've got Q1 at this moment in time, where all 20 drivers are out on the circuit. The fastest at the end of this session will earn themselves 6 points towards their championship charge, 5 for P2, 4, 3, 2 and 1, all the way down to 6th position. We will then take 12 fastest drivers and they will progress to the second session. In this session, at the end of the time when the clock stops and the flag waves, the top 10 will be reversed for race 2 on Sunday afternoon. So there's a lot to play for, not just track position, but also points on the board as well. We're looking at local driver now, Lewis Sedar, in the beautiful Audi RS. Lewis is doing good work so far for Continue Racing in the 2 practice sessions that we had earlier this weekend on Friday, in fact. So Lewis looking to put a good performance in front of the home fans. We're currently watching him now. Portimao is one of these circuits where it is absolutely critical for our drivers to make sure they remain precise, committed to many of the blind apex as well. Let's have a look at Callejas now, just lifting the right rear wheel. These cars are on an absolute knife edge here at this circuit. I've seen them a few times going round the track, and you can really see the commitment of the fastest drivers. Pepe Oriola is currently on a quick lap as well. We have a 20 car field just to put you all in the picture for this race. So Galash is currently our fastest man. The Hyundai was quickest in both free practice 1 and free practice 2 with different drivers. So expect this is the Hyundai that we're looking at now to be a very competitive proposition, although it has to be remembered, ladies and gentlemen at home, that this is the first time that the drivers are really gone out there searching for the ultimate lap time. Free practice is an important time to get to understand the new Kumo tyres that we're running in TCR Europe. A deal to bring Kumo into the main TCR Championship for this season is a fantastic acquisition for TCR Europe, and it's another element that the drivers need to consider, need to think about in their preparation, the way that the cars behave. It's a new circuit to the championship as well for this opening round. So there are a lot of variables, there are a lot of unknowns heading into this session, and hopefully come the conclusion in a few moments time, we will have our first answers towards what is going to happen over the course of the duration of the TCR Europe 2022 season. So we're looking at Nicola Baldan now. Look at the undulations at Portimao. This is a real driver's circuit. It's the kind of circuit that requires commitment, requires patience, requires absolute precision. We're looking at Baldan now as Gavrilov does a fastest first sector time, goes purple. So Galash still our provisional pole man. Gavrilov in second position. John Philippi as Mato Homola goes quickest for Yannick Motorsports. Another Hyundai at the top of the times. That's a good lap time of 1 minute 51.697. So a good 0.4 of a second quicker than we've seen at any stage this weekend, which just goes to show that the drivers now are really up in their game in terms of the competitive proposition. Qualifying, as we say, you score points, you also set your grid position for both rounds 1 and round 2 on Sunday afternoon. So there's a lot to play for our drivers. We're still looking now at Nicola Baldan coming down into T1. The road drops away from us there as Martin Rieber now, the Brutal Fish racing car. Of course, Pepe Oriola joins him as teammate for the first time this season as well. So Brutal Fish in the Honda Civic have a good prospect for a strong season ahead. Rieber currently on track at this moment in time. I'm just looking down the timing screen so I can find out where where he is on the running order. He's currently 11th, 2 seconds away from the pace. So Reba not quite had a serious go at setting a representative lap time. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen our timing stat. You can see that Klim Gavrilov is currently our provisional pole setter. So Volcano Motorsport out of the blocks very strongly at the start of qualifying. So Gavrilov doing good work as Jack Young immediately disposing at the top of the field. So young Jack Young, Halder Motorsports is our provisional pole sitter, the number 62 car. Good to see Young making a strong start to qualification. At this stage in the session, everybody's putting their banker laps in. They're preparing themselves for the course. Qualifying is all about getting a clear lap. As we see Young driving through a bit of a cloud of smoke there, somebody may have just run out onto the gravel that lines the circuit. So expect these times to change as the session progresses. It's important to get that banker lap in, a safety lap, to know that you've got a relatively competitive lap time should you get involved in a yellow flag over one of the sectors, make a mistake, get caught up in traffic. And look here, fan favourite Tom Coronel returns to TCR Europe once again. You cannot miss the very distinctive Come2U Racing Audi of Coronel, just on a slow down lap now, conditioning the tyres. The track temperature at this moment in time is a very healthy 23 degrees centigrade, so the tyre grip, making sure it's in the best condition for the push laps possible, is very, very important for our drivers. We've had incredibly warm weather throughout the course of the weekend. We had a couple of test days earlier in the week as well, so drivers are familiar with what to expect. But Kumo tyres, brand new for this season, so there will be a lot of questions that need answering on how they behave, the best way to condition them, bring them in to get the maximum lap time. We're looking at Josh Files now. Files, one of the championship favourites, so it's fair to say, heading into this season. 5th position at the moment, a green first sector, a 35.994 in the second sector, a couple of tenths off there, so a mistake no doubt for Files. Let's have a quick look at this slow motion replay. Look at the car working over the curbs, catches the inside sausage curb, just lifts a wheel, and that will slow the momentum for Josh Files, and that's where those 2 tenths of a second have gone, as Jack Young is still our provisional pole sitter. So good work from Young at this moment in time, but Files continues to push on this lap. I do fear though he's lost a little bit too much time with that curb riding experience, so 4 tenths to the deficit of Young at the front of the field, and there indeed does Josh Files jump down pit road. So he'll be getting a fresh set of boots on the car. Somebody will throw a piece of paper under his nose for him to have a look at his telemetry. He'll have a rethink, and then out he goes again. 10 minutes left on the clock, and pit road is very busy at this moment in time. Cars starting to get back in their box, preparing for their second stab at making it through, don't forget, to the all-important top 12 to give yourself a shot at being on the reverse grid for our second race that takes place on Sunday afternoon. Here is Jack Young, the man that we have been speaking about. It's great to see Halder Motorsport and the Honda Civic Type R FK7 TCR. Young, of course, was in Italy, should I say, last weekend. 2 second positions. So Young already trying to put some time on the board in the car, get off the race rustiness over the course of the winter, and put himself in the best position possible to hit the ground running, which he's very firmly doing here in qualification. 9 minutes, 20 seconds left on the clock. Young on a push lap, but not quite up to the ultimate pace, so I fear that this is going to be a call it quits, jump down pit lane, get some fresh boots on the car for the second part of the session. Many of the drivers are down pit road. We've got a couple of cars on the out lap. One to look out for is Kim Gavrilov in 3rd position on his out lap, as is Mato Homola as well. So both of those drivers, 3rd and 4th in the provisional timesheets. Expect them to go quicker as the session progresses. Track temperature remains at 23.2 degrees. It's nearly 21 degrees air temperature, as well as we look at another beautiful slow motion replay of Young attacking the Honda Civic, attacking this wonderful Portimao circuit. It's great, by the way, to be here at Portimao for the opening round of the championship. It's one of those circuits where if you get the opportunity as a spectator to head over to Portugal and have a look at some motor racing here, highly recommend it. Some fabulous vantage points. The circuit is set in incredible scenery as well. It's an absolutely beautiful place to go racing, and it's fantastic for TCR Europe to be opening our account, opening our campaign here at one of the finest tracks in Europe for my money. Tom Coronel, by the way, jumped down pit lane, is second fastest for ComTU Racing, so good opening effort from Coronel, 6/100ths of a second away from Jack Young at the front of the field. And so far, of the drivers that have set representative times, we have got a top 10 covered by 5/10 of a second, ladies and gentlemen. 5/10 of a second cover our top 10 drivers. That's how competitive TCR Europe in 2022 is going to be, and that bodes incredibly well for the season ahead, as we're looking at Germandi now in the Leon that you see in the middle of your shot. There we go, that's Germandi. We've got Galash just throwing the car at the inside now, trying to find himself a little bit of free space. 20 cars, we've got a circuit that is 2.891 miles in length. It is difficult to find free air. It is one of the kind of circuits where you really need the best opportunity possible to see where you're going, to understand where your car is in relation to where you need it to be, and following another car can be very detrimental, as Germandi actually runs very deep on the exit of the corner. So good move there by Galash to get himself some free air, to give himself a little bit of breathing space, and Galash needs it actually, because he's currently in 9th position. Remember, he topped the timesheets in the early running, so Galash now in danger of dropping outside the top 10. Jack Young, our provisional pole sitter, and Tom Coronel are both down pit road, so they're leaving it very, very late indeed in order to set that final flying lap. Or do they feel confident at the head of the field? We'll find out over the course of the next 6 minutes, 22 seconds. Quick rundown then as we're heading into the next run for our drivers. It is Jack Young ahead of Tom Coronel. Gavrilov in 3rd position from Mato Homola in position 4. Josh Files on an out lap in 5th position ahead of Franco Girolami. Girolami for ComTU Racing, of course, this season is another one of those drivers we expect to be right at the very sharp end of the field come the conclusion of our season at the circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya later this year. John Philippi in position 7, Isidro Callejas in P8. Callejas takes over the Volcano Motorsport seat of our 2021 champion, Mikel Ashkona. So Callejas, although only 17 years of age, has impressed many in the world of touring cars, so expect him to be strong later on in the series. Galash, position 9 from Pepe Oriola as Cliff. Gavrilov goes quickest of all for Volcano Motorsport, an incredible 151.366. So our drivers are really turning up the heat out on track. Young, Coronel remain in pit lane. Homola having a good lap as well, as we see Josh Files sets a fastest first sector of all. So Files now on a push lap. Galash we see on our screen trying to find some time, but the first sector a little bit weaker by his standards, 35.329. Pepe Oriola moves up in a 6th position. Philippi jumps down pit lane to get some tyres on, although I fear he's left that a little bit late. So as John Philippi done for the day for Sebastian Loeb Racing, the sole entry for Sebastian Loeb Racing, we'll find out in the next few minutes. Gavrilov is our position of front of the grid. P1 provisional pole position for race 1. That will of course become 10th place for race 2. That is such as the way of TCR Europe. It is have a good Saturday. You're in good position for race 1, but race 2 becomes much more challenging indeed, as we're looking now at the Hyundai again, very, very quick, and Josh Files proves me exactly right to go on provisional pole position with just over 4 minutes to go. Purple in the first sector, green in the second sector, a moderate third sector, but Files takes provisional pole position. This is Martin Reiber that we're looking at now, the Brutal Fish car that we mentioned earlier. One of the older models is the Honda FK7, but used to good effect by Pepe Oriola, his teammate, in 6th position. Reba currently in 18th position, 2.2 seconds away from the provisional pole sitter Josh Files. So Reba has work to do over the course of the next few minutes, and there are the two teammates. So will Oriola be offering a slipstream to his team leader and team manager or will these two cars try and find a little bit of racing room for themselves? They'll have to be quick because that's a Hyundai that we see just behind them, so they don't want to be holding up and incur the wrath of the stewards. But with only 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go, we've got Jack Young and Tom Coronel are the only two drivers in pit lane as Gavrilov goes in a second position. Franco Girolamo from nowhere in the Continue Racing Audi jumps up in a third position, so 69 100ths of a second cover our top three drivers. Young still holding on to that fourth place, Coronel in fifth, Mato Homola in sixth position, John Philippi and Callejas both leaving pit lane for one final throw of the dice in the last few minutes. Remember, this is Q1. Let's have a look now. What are we looking at here? Felice Gelmini in the target competition. Hyundai pushing sideways. Great car control from Gelmini to keep it on the black stuff. Spectacular driving, but of course not the fastest way to go around the circuit, and you've got to be very careful as well of losing your lap time if you go outside of the track limits. And look at Gelmini on the ragged edge, trying to squeeze as much lap time out of that target competition car as he possibly can. 12th position at this moment in time. Strong sector times, but not good enough to move him into the top 10. Remember, the top 10 is where our drivers need to be. 12th position qualifying for race 1 will put you 12th position for race 2, and that'll be so frustrating for our drivers. Files now and Gavrilov both in pit lane. Young coming out on an outlap, so Jack Young fancies his chances for one final time in this qualification 1 session. Remember, if you didn't join us at the start of the show, the top 6 drivers score points here, and let's have a look again at this incredibly on edge driving from Felice Gelmini in the target competition. Hyundai, that car is looking very ragged out there indeed. Hard lock up into T1 as well. So frustrated to lose the lap so early in the session, and I fear now that is the end of Felice Gelmini's day as Josh Files sits confidently in pit lane as our provisional pole sitter in this Q1 session for the opening round of the 2022 TCR Europe Championship. This is a nice slow motion of Files. Oh, that's it. Yep, Josh Files. Just see how hard he's leaning on the car. Nice and smooth driving. Files very much looking like a man in control. He was fastest in free practice 2 yesterday as well. So one of the early championship favourites. But again, as I said earlier in the show, there are so many unknowns and variables that we have yet to see over the course of the year. So, yep, Files is the form man today, but will that remain the same in race 2? And of course, when we go to Le Castellet next time out, we're seeing a track limits violation for car number 44. That is Gelmini that we saw on screen a little while ago, current lap deleted. And also for car 74, which is Pepe Oriola. So current lap deleted for Oriola as well. And that leaves Pepe down in, if I look on the timing screens, 7th place. So Oriola firmly within the top 10. The clock hits 0. Files and Gavrilov, their day is done. We've still got Girolamo out on circuit as well. So can Girolamo do anything in these final few moments? Nobody's going purple on the timing screens from what I can see. Tom Coronel, 6th position. That is Jack Young. Left it too late to have any kind of answer for the top front row of the grid, but Young finishes so far in 4th position in qualification. Checkered flags on the side of your screen indicate that the drivers now no longer have an opportunity to set a faster time. I'm looking at the timing screens. There are no drivers currently purple. There are a couple of drivers with a green sector time. Callejas being one of them in sector 1. Philippi in 7th position in sector 1 as well. But will they have enough to move up the finishing order for the end of qualification 1, the first qualifying session at TCR Europe? It doesn't look like that is the case. So Q1, the all-important top 10. Josh Files, our provisional pole sitter from Klim Gavrilov in second place. Franco Girolami pops up right at the very death to get third position, heading row 2 from Jack Young of Halder Motorsports. Isidro Callejas for Volcano Motorsport. Fantastic qualification for the young Spaniard in 5th position, just ahead of touring car veteran and fan favourite Tom Coronel in P6. John Philippi and Mato Homola are 7th and 8th. Nicola Baldan, P9th. Pepe Oriola, 10th position for race 1, pole position for race 2, as we're looking at one of the target cars running off track there, down into T1. It's such a difficult braking zone in a touring car. The car goes light as you come over the crest. You've got to position it perfectly, apply the brakes, but unfortunately that was a bit of a disappointing time for the target car. But here we go. This is the qualification session. Josh Files, pole position from Klim Gavrilov and Franco Girolami. Jack Young, Isidro Callejas, Tom Coronel, John Philippi, Mato Homola, Nicola Baldan, Pepe Oriola are your top 10. They'll be reversed for race 2. Galash in 11th, Halder in P12, Yelmine, Sidade, Halder again, Victor Davidovsky, Leonov in 17th position, and then Reba P18, Gustavo Mora Jr. 19, and Giramande in 20th position. That has been qualification, ladies and gentlemen. Join us again at 14:05 GMT, 15:05 local, 16:05 CEST for the first race of the 2022 TCR Europe Championship campaign.